Photographer Spencer Tunick is a world-renowned artist for his collaborative nude photos taken all over the world. He's now expected in Israel. Is this a great opportunity to show our liberal colours, or is this going over the top? Yoni and Tova, what is your opinion, Tova? Do you think that this is elevating or debasing the Holy Land?
Well, I wouldn't look at it that way at all. I do performance art, actually Jewish performance art, so I am personally very into art, and I think art is art is art. I mean, you cannot make more of it or less of it. You don't need to look at anything artistic that happens and to make, to make it to give it more than it should. And of course, art is important. So I think that it is not a national issue to deal with and to ask and to because I do think that if in this issue, it's a private artist wants to do something artistic. If anyone wants to go and be photographed in that photo for his own experience, that's wonderful. Whoever wants to go and see those photos, wonderful. I mean, making everything so symbolized and so, I think it's really exaggerated.
Right.
I did see articles talking about this is a way to show how liberal we are, and this is a way to show that, now there's this whole propaganda over the world to show how Israel is advanced and like all the countries. Right. I think it's absurd. I think we don't. It's actually a little bit embarrassing. I mean, it's an artist wants to do something in Yam HaMelach or in wherever he wants to do it, right. In Tel Aviv. I mean, it's every person is entitled to have his own view about it. Right. But really, to make it, something so, it says everything about who we are as a Jewish nation. I think it's really overrated.
And Yoni?
Debasing the Holy Land? One thing that I would for sure agree with what Tova said is that it's definitely embarrassing. And the idea of the fact that it's a national issue, the reason that it's a national issue is because this Spencer Tunick wants to do it on the Namal Tel Aviv with thousands of people. Okay, art is art when it's in your studio in your house. That's fine. But art is not art when it's on the street and you're putting it in everybody else's face. Okay, and here's a question. How would you feel if on national television someone decided to take their clothes off for the sake of art? Right? They would block that out. Why? Because there are laws, there are rules. Spencer Tunick, for example, has been arrested 5 times in New York City. Right? Why? Because it's illegal what he's done. Of course, he's appealed to the Supreme Court, and ultimately they gave him his First Amendment and allowed him to do it. But at the end of the day, right, we're talking about a national issue. There's no question about it. We're talking about something that's going to be a public display, something that's going to be a demonstration of what we really believe in. And I think this is a critical time because in Israel we have a tremendous conflict of ideas. We don't even know who we really are. Right? We have no idea. We don't know what we want. We don't know who we are. We don't have one collective voice. We have 1,000 different parties, right? 1,000 different people going in every single direction. We have to come to terms with, especially with Zehut Yehudi, we have to come with an identity, with a defined identity of who we are and what we're about, right? What's valuable for us, what's right for us, what's wrong for us. I think art is an amazing thing. Art's beautiful. Art is definitely completely subjective. By the way, it's not anything more than in the eyes of the beholder. Art is, in my opinion, it's when you take something and you try to appreciate the perfected side of it, the beauty of it, right? And in this case, the body, the human body, a lot of art evolves around, focuses on the human body. Why? Because it is a beautiful thing, right? But at the end of the day, it's convoluted. What that means is the reason why there are laws in all these countries and all these cities that it's illegal to walk around, in the nude, right, is because it's convoluted. There are other things that come along with this. It's not art in a bubble. It's not just art in a vacuum. It's art that also brings with it the whole idea of the sexual drive. The sexual drive could be a beautiful thing. It could be a wonderful thing that gives us love and affection and helps bring people together and creates. But at the same time, we all know too well what could come out of it in the bad way, right?
Disagree?
I'm sorry, I disagree. First of all, thank God that we are not united in one opinion. Thank God that there are different parties. Thank God that there is a debate. Thank God that we don't disagree, really. Because I think it's a blessing, first of all. Second of all, of course, there are different rules in different places. Some I agree with, some I disagree with. I tell you my own personal opinion about art. I think it should be a lot more open, a lot more, because art says a lot about life, about humanity. And if you want to talk specifically about this issue, Mr. Spencer Tunick comes to Tel Aviv, okay, they close a certain area. All of you guys who don't want to see the nude, don't go there. Stay that day in Bnei Brak if you may, okay? Don't go there. I'm curious, I must say, and I'm a woman, so it's easier for me maybe, I don't know. But really, I mean, you cannot let one group, hey, it can be a very big group, yes, but one group cannot decide for the others what's right or what's wrong, okay? Sometimes we can get to an agreement, okay? We do this because we believe it's important. You can tolerate it, nothing will happen, okay? And I do think that on the contrary, I mean, when we open these things to discussion, okay, and we disagree, yes, and you say this and you say that, but in the end of the day, what do we want to get? We want everyone to be able to live according to what they believe, okay? So I don't try to tell you how to live your life.
Yes.
Why are we debating? Why do we debate? Because each one of us believes...
It's interesting and fascinating.
Because each one of us believe that we have something to say, that we have something that the other one doesn't understand or doesn't believe in.
I don't think that I have a truth that I have to deliver to you.
Okay, that could be your truth.
Exactly.
That could be your truth, but it's still a truth that you have to deliver to me.
It is
it's
my
still a truth that you have to deliver to me.
It is as I deliver to you, but I don't expect you to change anything in your daily life because of my truth.
I still think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why we have arguments is because we have something to say to the other person, right? Exactly. And we have something to prove.
Do we
have
try
something
to
that
change
we believe
the other
in.
person?
We have something we believe in.
Do we want to change the other person?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have gone on a tangent.
So at the same time, yeah, the idea of one small group I think is completely misplaced, because this is not an issue of the Haredim versus the ultra-Orthodox versus the secular. This is not that issue at all. I don't know if that's what you want to turn into, but that's not the issue. The issue is a general value for mankind. How we're going to raise our society. What are you going to put into the society's
censorship, for example.
Why are there rules of what age you have to be in to get into certain types of movies? Why? This is not a religious thing. This is a thing this is a humanity. This is a value in all of humanity. We have these rules because we want to raise our society with pure motives, right? We don't want to convolute them. We don't want to contaminate them and purify them by overstepping our boundaries. And I think, if anything, Israel has to be the forefront of that model, because the Jewish people have always been waving that flag, the flag of morality, the flag of what's right and what's wrong. Abraham, he saw something that was wrong. Abraham, our forefather, he stood up. That's where we get the word Ivri, because we're on the other side. The Ever, everyone's on one side, maybe they're all worshiping idols, and we're on the other side. Everyone's, going after whether it's, immodesty or nudity, and in Europe, they have a lot more lenient rules with their advertisements than we do here in Israel and they do in America. The question is, what do we want our society to be built on? We have to have rules. We have to have regulations.
I'll add just one sentence. I promise, one sentence. I think it is absurd to deal with for me, such a simple issue when there are so many horrible things, other things that we should deal with as passionately.
I agree, but at the same time, I think that this is an issue that is a root issue. In other words, it's not a matter of taking the picture on the Namal Tel Aviv, okay? It's not a matter of whether my kids will see it or not. It's a matter of what we believe in. It's a root issue. It's a fundamental issue. That's why we're turning it into such a big issue. We have to deal with the fundamental values of what we want our society to be based on.